Tough talk from U.S. President Barack Obama on his first stop in his three-country European trip. On his first day in Poland, Obama announced plans to pour $1 billion into NATO militaries over the Ukraine crisis. He also called on Russian President Vladimir Putin to meet with Ukraine's new president. For more on Obama's trip and tensions in parts of Eastern Europe, CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg joins us live from Kiev. Roee.
Elaine, officially Obama is in Poland attending the 25th anniversary of that country beginning to break away from Russia's sphere of influence, if you will. Of course, Ukraine will be topping the agenda, and while Poland's breaking away went peacefully, Ukraine's over the decades has proven a bit more difficult, and some say given the current crisis, it could actually go either way.
The handshakes were meant to show solidarity. Smiles intended to display a sense of reassurance. This as the U.S. President Barack Obama arrived in Europe, telling leaders here Washington will help protect them.
I'm calling on Congress to approve up to $1 billion to support this effort, which will be a powerful demonstration of America's unshakable commitment to our NATO allies.
Obama says that'll include rotating American troops and F-16 jets into the region, and strengthening Washington's contribution to NATO operations here. If approved by American lawmakers, the move would mark a dramatic departure from 2 decades of American military downsizing in the region. Some welcomed the announcement, while cautiously optimistic for even more.
With satisfaction, I heard from the President that this is another step and not the final, and that we will be talking within this strategic perspective about a more intensive cooperation and greater presence of the North Atlantic Alliance in this part of Europe.
The White House has been urging Western European leaders to do more as well, but some say that may be a harder sell.
Europe is deeply engaged in economic cooperation with the Russian Federation. Europe doesn't need a war with Russia. The U.S. also doesn't need a war, but America risks less as the commodity turnover of EU and Russia is around $300 billion a year, compared to commodity turnover between Russia and the U.S., which is $19 billion a year.
A distinction Ukraine's next president, inheriting his country's standoff with Russia, is very much aware of. On his first trip abroad since winning last week's vote, Petro Poroshenko praised the support he's received while asking for more.
And we see that the whole world are now together with us. Aggressors are in isolation. And we need to demonstrate that our unity bring our country to prosperity, to victory.
And on Wednesday, Obama will meet with the new Ukrainian leader. And Elaine, as you mentioned, Obama has urged Poroshenko to meet with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is not attending the event in Warsaw. And even though it's unclear if Obama himself will do the same when he and Putin are under the same roof in France later this week.
Well, and Roee, behind the scenes, this can't be an easy sell for Barack Obama.
It's definitely not. On the one side, they've been encouraging from the White House additional plans for sanctions. On the other side, now they're saying they want to try to go the diplomatic route. And some of the leaders that are gathering there are simply suspicious. Remember that some of these countries, the Baltic countries, particularly that border Russia, that have sizable Russian ethnic minorities, saw with awe what was happening in Ukraine, Russia's land grab in Crimea, and are still bothered by that and what they've seen over the years as an American departure from the region. And we heard from Radek Sikorski, of course, the Polish foreign minister in the past, referring to America's presence there as a virtual deployments, saying that America's bases in Europe are all wrong. They're in Western Europe. And of course, he is vying for the position of the next European Union foreign policy chief, so that could additionally create some more problems between Washington and Brussels, and of course, some continued tensions in the East as Obama tries to convince them that there's no reason to be nervous.